Here's a little bit of background into how this all came about. I've already shared a little bit of my story around how I created this through dropping down from higher time frames, but I wanted to just explain things that will keep a lot of people out of trading this strategy successfully due to the fact that they're coming in with so much knowledge that they don't realize they don't need. I developed this strategy so it utilizes three EMAs, a Bollinger Band, and a multi-time frame tool. That's it. And the reason I chose those things wasn't because I knew the mechanics behind them and, excuse me, I'm just crossing my legs, the mechanics behind them and what they actually do. It was because of this reason and this reason only. I sat for hours, and I'm not joking, hours, looking at Forex charts, putting different EMAs on to see what fitted the most productive price action movement. So I wanted crossovers at certain places. I wanted pullbacks in certain places. So I played and played and played with EMAs. It wasn't because this one shows me 9 candles and this one shows me 12 candles and this one shows me 200 candles. That didn't even go through my head. I knew an EMA was known as an exponential moving average, and I knew it was a moving average of so many candles. That was irrelevant to this strategy and how I designed it. My head works on patterns. That's it. I see patterns everywhere. I can look at trading charts and literally design you strategy after strategy after strategy through pattern matching particular movements. That's what I did. The reason I used the Bollinger Band was not because it does X, Y, and Z mechanically and technically. It's because it showed me a decent little pullback in the market and then where volume comes in, so people can set an alarm on it. It means you don't have to stare at a trading chart all morning thinking, has that pulled back enough? Has that pulled back enough? Utilizing my principles and using the Bollinger Band and the EMAs for alert systems, it means the trading becomes easy. I've already done the hard work of sitting and staring at charts for, thousands of hours have gone into this. It's not just something that flipped out my head in the middle of the night. Literally thousands of hours of testing have gone into this. And it wasn't, I want to make this abundantly clear. It was not about the mechanics behind the indicators because a lot of people will say, oh, well, the settings of this do this and that and that. It's irrelevant to me. I don't care. It's about patterns. It's as simple as that. The multi-time frame tool I use, I actually nicked that from the old trading space I was in. When I learned something called, I've got quite a long history in Forex trading. When I learned something called the Impulse Scanner with Brandon Boyd and Dr. Josh Lee, they had a multi-time frame tool that it was like a cheat code. It just showed you when all the time frames from like the 1 minute to the daily were all showing that they're pushing in the same direction as each other. And I thought, I like that. That's a proper cheat tool. And again, with me doing repetitive over and over again, changing settings, what setting works best, I managed to create settings that suited my strategy. My strategy is not designed to suit the indicators. And again, I want to make that clear. So if you're coming into this space and you're coming in with all this knowledge of this indicator does that and this setting does that, you're going to cause yourself problems and a headache because none of that was going through here. My brain is very simple when it comes to things like that. I'm extremely intelligent, but this works on patterns. I have no interest in the mechanics of it. I really don't. And do you know why? Because I don't need it. This works. It really does work. So my brief history. I joined, I previous to that, I used to trade 1 minute gold charts, no stop losses, not pretty, not pretty. Baptism of fire, didn't like it, came out of Forex. Went back in through IM Academy for a guy called Simon Kendrick. He got me involved back into Forex trading. Michael Angel Martin was my first educator. So Michael Angel Martin taught me 1362 trading. This is where the basis of this comes from. EMA trading, loved it. Used to get very bored though because it was from higher time frames down and I'd be like twitching and wanting to press buttons. So my brain is, what happens if you stick a vertical line and drop down to the 1 minute chart or the 5 minute chart? Can you find an entry model? That's how my brain works because I want stuff to be done quickly. Not very good at slow things. Forex trading has taught me patience, though, I'll give it that. So Michael Angel Martin taught me that, loved it, I was really good at it. Then we had, this is a great thing about an academy, network marketing. They like to keep you in the loop, so they keep changing stuff so you stay in. great business model. We're not a network marketing company. So that's probably a point actually of what I want to put in this video as well. You know, you can bounce about, add extra source. Oh, I need to know a higher time frame. I need a Fibonacci. You know, you want to stick all this stuff in, this harmonics and all the smart money. You want to stick all that in, you'll ruin this strategy because it's designed to be simple and just a pattern match for the brain. So yeah, so I learned with Michael Angel Martin first, loved it. Then Manny Hamon, something like that, came in with his harmonic scanner. So I ended up learning harmonic patterns because all of a sudden it's like shiny object. Oh, that's really good. People must make money over there. I need to do that. So I learned that. Then Manny left and it was like, right, what now? So maybe I'll learn smart money. So I learned smart money under Simon and Rock as well. I want to say Kumar. I don't think his name was Rock Kumar, but Rock. Anyway, Rock, fabulous, fabulous smart money trader. What I learned off that guy, oh, gold dust, seriously. Then we got involved in the Aurus gold scanner. So that was gold levels and patterns. So I do actually trade a bit of gold now, but on levels. And then there was another guy, there was a young, I don't know if he's Swedish or Norwegian or something like that, but I can't remember your name if you ever watched this video. Micro Price Action. He used to work with scalping. Loved him. And then he disappeared. Then we got introduced to Brandon Boyd and Josh Lee with the Impulse Scanner. That's where I learned the majority of my micro price action and started really playing about with EMAs and looking at how candles move and, oh, free phase breakout patterns, all sorts of stuff. Learned so much off of those guys that I started applying that. This was the end of, I think that was the end of 23 coming into 24. And then I started going, right, what do I like? And then that was where developed this trading strategy that's known as TWS. So it's a scalping strategy on a 5-minute chart. Like I say, you don't need high time frame knowledge, anything like that. This is designed so you don't. So we can trade up and down through trend. It doesn't matter because in one hour candle, there's 12 5-minute candles. You can get a trade in one candle. So yeah, if we're going with trend, all the better. But even with trend, candles still pull up and down. It's irrelevant. Higher time frame trend is irrelevant. And yes, price action will hit a POI where it starts leveling out and bobbling about, and then we'll do a move off of it. However, we teach you that. We teach you how to recognize that on the 5-minute candles. So you don't really get caught out in those spaces. They're the little nuances. So that's a little bit behind this strategy of where it came from and what you need and what you don't. And everybody will always make an assumption and a presumption that everything's set up based on how the mechanics of this work and how that works and the technicalities of that. You are so far wrong. You wouldn't believe it because none of that shit goes through my head. It never did. Patterns. All I'm interested is in patterns. And the interesting thing is, with the patterns I've developed and the way of setting alerts for people, which makes the trading a bit easier, if you actually went back to naked charts, if you marked up all of my entry points and then took all of the indicators off, you'll see they're actually lower time frame smart money moves anyway. So yeah, you don't need all that knowledge, guys. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. It's as simple